Hey everyone, happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to Kramer Corner. We are live, back at it, our first show post NAMM, and very excited to have from Kramer, Aljon Go, my good friend. How are you, buddy? It's good to have you back.
Oh yeah, good to be back. Good to be back from NAMM. I hope everyone's recovering from anthrax. I know some
well.
of our staff is, and always happy to join you here on EVH and Gear TV and Kramer Corner.
This is fun. This is fun. I promised myself and I promised the fans here on the show that this is going to be the year for Kramer Corner, and I think a lot of it has to do. Well, I mean, okay, I'm trying to get fanboy mode out of the way here.
All right, do it.
It's hard. It's hard, right? I talk to celebrities all the time, and this is kind of a funny note. We'll talk further about this kind of fanboy thing later on.
Sure.
But this new launch of the brand, man, and I don't want to say new. I'm kind of putting words into context that aren't really relevant. It's not a new launch.
It's a reboot, man. It's just like, I mean, we just hope to do it better than Star Trek and Star Wars. That's all we're
there you go.
To do, man.
And I know you're a big fan of Kramer as you are Star Wars, anything sci-fi. So,
oh man,
you're doing it right.
I mean, I've got my Captain America shield in this office. I've got my Boba Fett mug. I've got, Thor's hammer somewhere in this room, and a bunch of signed Star Wars and Marvel stuff. Because I mean, the guys at Lucasfilm, at Marvel, and at Disney are huge Gibson, Epiphone, and Kramer guitar fans, and it's just great to be in this business where my love for comics and my love for guitars, especially Kramer and Epiphone and Gibson, is able to come forward. Steinberger too. I mean, I grew up with these brands much like you.
Yeah.
And the 80s were a big deal to us, and growing up, my parents turned me on to Van Halen. My friend turned me on to Van Halen. We listened to Led Zeppelin, and so hard rock is definitely in my blood. And even though I'm not a shredder per se, I love the art form. I love the music, and I definitely am into the pop culture. So yeah, if you're down with Back to the Future, Return of the Jedi, if you're down with Marvel superheroes, man, I'm your guy. Total geek, man.
I love that.
And the Masters of Shred. This is like the NWO t-shirt. So I had to represent our buddy Derek over there at Masters of Shred too. I mean, you guys, all of the great social media creators like yourself that do these web shows, and I have to give props to, and I was so happy to meet everybody at NAMM, and look forward to more of this. I know that I'm just talking because I'm excited, but
hey, no, that's what it's all about. That's and see, your passion comes out clearly, because I think it's Randall Fisher in the chat. We're going to go over to the chat in a second and say hi to everybody as we get warmed up here.
Nice.
But I think it was Randall said, your passion just shines, and you really need that in a company. Over on my Line 6 show on the Helix Hour, Frank Rashad over there. I talk about him a lot.
Of course,
Frank
yes.
is the Aljon of Line 6, I think.
Yes.
There's passion.
Great. By the way, talking about Frank, he didn't remember, but he was actually my rep back when I started with Gibson. And I played a bunch of Line 6 stuff too, and Frank was actually one of my reps, and he didn't remember that, and I had to remind him of it, because I used to do a lot of appearances and demos of our Gibson product, and I had one of those pods. I still do. It's right next to me. My wife got it for me.
Oh, cool.
When they first came out, and I was a Fluxtone Line 6 user from the very beginning. So I've got a bunch of stuff. In fact, I have my M9 like right next to me, because I don't have a Helix yet. I hope to one day, but yep. I totally am loving the new Helix stuff, and my M9 is like one of my favorite pieces of gear. So
yeah,
what up, Frank?
Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And I'm glad that you guys got to kind of rekindle that relationship and friendship, because you two would have hit it off for sure.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, he's a great dude, and I watch your shows a lot. So I'm totally down with Frank and the team at Line 6, and everybody that you have on your show. I'm just I'm like you guys. I'm a fan, obviously, of gear, and I'm a fan of the different brands that are out there. I mean, we have so much to offer, and this is really one of the best and most magical times to be a musician, because there's so many great brands that are out there kicking ass. And it's just great to have that. And it's great to meet up with everybody at NAMM too. It's like a family reunion. So many of us in the industry maybe see each other once or twice a year if we're lucky. So it's great that everybody's doing really well gear wise. And I'm going to mute this so I can see what's in the chat.
No problem. We'll jump over there right now too, because I know that people are really excited to share their comments and their opinions and things like that as well too. So let's jump in real quick. We got Adam DeWitt is here, pumped for the stream. Warren Hughes here. He's got some news to share in the distant near future, I think. Randall Fisher says it's going to be awesome. Love Aljon. Yeah, it was Randall Fisher. Love Aljon's passion in the NAMM videos. It shines.
That's nice. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm an old guy, so I'm hoping that his passion means I can buy lots of Kramer so I can relive my youth. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Bob George is okay. Adam DeWitt says this will be the longest 12 minutes of our lives. He was very anticipating the show. Bob George, it's been a while since I've caught a live show. It used to be a regular Saturday thing for me years ago in 2016 and 17. So I'm very happy to have you back, Bob. Very nice. Gary Holt is here, my good buddy. Says, okay, the important people are here, for sure. Island Sounds, greetings from the Caribbean. Nice to have you. Brad Miller, thanks for the comments on my post, and maybe in and out a little bit. And Bob is in Taiwan, he says.
All right.
Yeah, Rob S. is here from Philly. Let me see here. Scott Connor is here. Let me see here. Bob George, Saturdays and Fridays where you are, hence why I said I'd catch a show on Saturdays. Gotcha. My beautiful Nocturnal Butterfly is here. Let me just control down. Lessick, hello there, everyone. Scott Connor, did it finally warm up there? Yeah, we're getting some unseasonably warm weather right now, which is kind of nice. The snow has melted. And as Nocturnal says, we're about to get snow again. So it's just like, haha, you're back from Los Angeles. It's nice. Now I'm going to give you back what you left in. So it sucks. Here,
I know. Sorry, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. Junior wants to go back really bad. And I run a web business. So as long as I have internet, I can work from anywhere. It really entices me to go back. But cost of living is a lot more too.
This is the first trip ever, Eric. The first trip I didn't go to Disneyland. I know it's insane. If you know me, you know that, at least once or twice I go to hit at least downtown Disney and take some of the boys into the park. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. I was so busy.
Yep.
This year, just incredibly busy. But I have y'all to thank for that because with your interest in Kramer, Epiphone, and Steinberger, and Gibson as a whole.
Yeah.
It's good to be busy, and I'll go back to Disneyland sometime.
Yep.
But you guys are important. So.
Disney's not going anywhere.
No, we're not. It's not going anywhere.
I know for a fact how busy you were because, and this I'm going to kind of allude into another thing that you just told me before going on the air. Number one, okay. So I know you didn't have time to go to Disney because you didn't even have time to play guitars at NAMM, and the guitars that you're going to see Aljon play here throughout the evening and show. If you guys and girls were at the Gibson booth, which we're going to talk about in a moment, if you put your hands on one of these guitars and picked them up and played them, these are the guitars. These are literally the ones that were on the stands at NAMM. So if you played them, you're going to see the guitar that you played here on the show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wailing on it because I just haven't had an opportunity to even pick up the guitar. I mean, right now it's kind of awkward because my studio is so small. But
yeah, show people the body on that, baby.
Get guitar in the shot. I can't really see myself on Skype right now.
That's okay.
Well, we're trying with this Night Swan. This is great. I haven't had an opportunity to play the instruments. The moment we had these instruments in, we looked at them. They look great. The guitar just speaks for itself, and you can see this is the actual guitar we used at NAMM. You can see like the plastic, protective plastic is coming up, and I was just polishing the guitar before we went live because there are so many fingerprints still left on the guitar because it's painful to load out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And our team is so tired. Our team actually is responsible for the setup and teardown of that, of our experience. And as you know, and you've seen in videos, it's huge. So, but I never really had a chance to play it. And so this is going to be the first time I'm playing the Night Swan through an actual amp. I know it's blasphemy. Our engineers, Richard Akers, had an opportunity to do that, and some other people did. But it's just really cool to sit down and play. You can't even see me play, and here I go again. I I mean, I can't even do
Okay.
it in the camera. I'm like, how am I going to do it so you guys can see? But
Yeah.
whatever, man.
It's very
cool.
deceiving on camera, right? You don't know how big everybody's studio is, and you got a lot of guitars in there, and
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, you
You
got
know,
lots.
being a product manager for Epiphone, it's kind of a dream come true. But even before that, I was a huge Gibson, Epiphone, Kramer fan, and Steinberger fan, and my wife and I have kind of amassed a little bit of a collection. It's almost nauseating, but not really.
never nauseating. Well, I want to make a note here. This was something totally amazing because I wasn't at last NAMM. I was there the year before that, but last year Gibson, decided they were skipping NAMM, I guess doing CES, right? But
That's
I mean,
right.
you take a year off of NAMM, and I mean, talk about an entrance. Like, I mean, everywhere I went, and this is, I'm not just saying this for the show. I mean, this is the buzz on the internet. It was like its own. I was saying it's like its own mini NAMM. Like, and people from other booths, like, oh my God, the Gibson booth, the Gibson booth, the Gibson booth. Planning. How long did you guys plan to do that booth in the event?
Oh God, we start planning NAMM. Kind of we start planning NAMM. Well, this one in particular, right after Summer NAMM, and we knew we had to do something huge, and we have such a great team. The planning was, as soon as the new administration came in, November 1st, we had a plan we wanted to do. The concept was approved. We really wanted to have the factory experience there so people can look at our master luthiers at work. And, I knew, and, it's something that I've spoken to you about, is that for many years, Gibson has been a great brand. Epiphone has been a great brand, but there has been no real association with me and our brands interacting with people. They don't see the workmanship and the people behind the engineering, behind the luthier, being luthiers, the master luthiers, the pickup winders, all those great people that I've loved as family for almost 15 years now. And even before then, as an artist, I'm so happy, and it pleased me so much just to be there interacting. I'm getting chills just talking about it, just being on stage, talking to people, interacting with people and fans coming up, because that's why I love NAMM so much. Is, yes, I have business meetings, and yes, we talk to dealers, which are awesome, and I love connecting with our dealers, but I love connecting with our fans.
Right.
And it's so cool that I'm on stage, we're doing giveaways, and all these things are going on. And for your audience who was there, Sean Pierce Johnson knows for a fact, it's like I love the fact that they finally get to see the heart and soul behind our company. And for good, bad, and indifferent, doesn't really matter. This is a whole new day. It is a reboot. And we want to just continue the legacy and just be better and earn people's trust, and just continue to make the most loved and the relevant product that we possibly can. So it's really great. And to see the love that the people out there poured into the luthiers that were there building and showing off their craft really made me proud. I was so proud of our team. I was so proud of our luthiers and our sales team. Our interactions were great, but more importantly, having you all take a look at the heart behind the company is really important. And it always was important to me because our team interacts with people every day. My team, I previously was a head product specialist for Gibson, all of our brands. So I go into stores all the time, and I train, and I train retailers, and I go into stores and do events. And it's just super cool to know that we are taking what we're doing outside of the store into people, into these trade shows like NAMM, and getting that feedback back. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you did this? Or maybe you could try this, or maybe we can focus on this aspect and do that. Hey, I'm all about it. Let's take it all in. And our team debriefs all, every day. And even today, we had a meeting just talking about what worked, what didn't work, what can we improve. And so it takes months to plan the show. But I'm just glad that we were able to execute and try to get as many people into the booth as possible to have that great Gibson experience. So very, very proud of our team.
Yeah, well, you guys did it. And I understand what you're saying, too, about meeting the people in person. Like, first of all, meeting the fans, meeting the staff, because, I mean, you assist the very fantastic social media campaign. Hats off to you and your team for that. And I know you're directly involved with that. But even that alone, text on a web page is, you can't feel the emotion. You really can't. Getting to see the passion, getting to feel this, hold the instruments in your hand, see the work that these live shows go on stage. There's a lot of coordinating, man. It's like putting on a festival, and then on top of that, displaying 500 guitars or more.
Oh,
I can't fathom the amount of work that goes into it. And I do know some of the behind mechanics. I know some people out there that the displays, I've even heard that people will go out to like places like IKEA, buy stuff and throw it away in the garbage, when they're done, because they don't even want to repack it to get out of there. It's just,
I get it.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is. But I can tell you that based on the feedback we have from, fans and dealers and whatnot, that they love the factory experience. They love talking to our master luthiers at work, and hopefully we'll do it again and, make it that much better for people. And, and I think it was great to have all the products on matching tables, and having people actually come into our booth and play and experience Gibson, whether it's an aspect of our manufacturing or all of the Kramers and Epiphones and Steinbergers on the table, so that people can get up and play and not look at a wall of guitars and go, well, it's nice, but I wish I could play it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you can play everything. I mean, you really could play everything, and listen and talk to people that were involved into manufacturing and selling of the brand. I think that's really cool, and artists too. I mean, gosh, look at Trini Lopez and Rick Nielsen. Vivian Campbell, who, by the way, I have a story about that too.
Great.
So
can't wait to hear that.
It's great that they're able to come in and interact with people like Jason Hook and Nancy Wilson, and so Jared James Nichols. I mean, it's just so good.
And endless. What was you nailed it when you said you could pick up a guitar and play it. Not once did I see. I mean, unless it was on some of the really expensive guitars, not once did I see a sign that said "Please do not touch." Everything was inviting. And people, they weren't abusing the guitars either, so it was a mutual respect. But you could walk in and pick up, maybe a kid's never had a chance to play a real Les Paul before, and you grab, which color do you want then? You want it in root beer? You want it in blue? What do you want? It's so inviting. The Kramers were all there on a wide open display, grab them and play them. And it was, and at times, I was there a few times, there was a waiting list just to be able to, okay, can I play a chord? Like that, not myself, but these other people, I'm watching them, and they're like, just waiting to play a chord on it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's almost like you have to enlist or start up a 15-minute, time limit or 5-minute time limit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, bing, you're done. 5 minutes has passed. You got to give it up to the next person. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that are there to play their instrument, and that's really what it's all about. I mean, I hope that we have more tables in the future with more products, so people can play, to their heart's content. But the fact of the matter is, we're so happy that people would even come by the booth, and we're very, very humbled by it.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that it just continues. I mean, this is a great reboot. We know that there's a lot of work left to be done, but I hope that we continue to earn, people's respect and hard-earned money, because we're working hard behind the scenes, and we want to make sure you have the best possible guitars you can possibly get, because you worked hard for it, and we appreciate it. So
money is easy to come by, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I feel like kind of Kramer being with Gibson, some people don't even know that, but I feel in a way it's kind of like a homecoming in a way for a reason too. And I'll go just partially into it. Having spent some time with Gary Kramer the past week after NAMM, from the early onset of the formation from Travis Bean to Kramer, and then Gary stepping out and becoming like the rock, instead of aluminum guitars, there was wood neck guitars and things like that. But there was involvement with Gibson even back then, Gibson, Norland, those kind of things. And it's come back home. I honestly can't think of a better company. I mean, there's other companies out there that could probably manufacture guitars, great, but Gibson, I think, is the homecoming. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've used that term, experience. I think I was the first person to use experience, and I've also used the term homecoming, and it really is, because we want to invite people in our home.
Yeah.
Which was the experience. And we also wanted people to feel like we would welcome them home with open arms, whether it's dealers or consumers that have, lapsed because they moved on from Gibson. They've just moved on and moved on from Kramer, to be honest.
Yep.
And we want to make sure that everyone knows we're back. The people at the highest levels at the company are really responsive. They understand, and they trust that we're going to listen and make sure that all those instruments are being being made properly and with the utmost care and quality and attention to detail. And we welcome you. We welcome everybody back home. And
Yeah.
and it's great to have that sense too. I mean, as just part of the Gibson family, to have everyone in our company feel that we're welcoming, and that it was like a family reunion. We don't get a chance to interact with each other as much as we do with Gibson and in Bozeman, Montana, and some of our affiliated guitar plants. And so it's really nice when everyone can get together. So it was a homecoming for us as a team Gibson, but it was also a homecoming for our fans and our dealers. And I hope that showed, because we were just loving it. Like I said, we're completely humbled by it, and we just want to continue to continue on that good vibe that was produced there at the show. So
well, it's carrying over. And another fan here and a friend too, Randall Fisher, he said somewhere in the chat, which I'm going to jump back to in a second, but he talks about seeing and he actually sent me a message on Facebook too. He sent me the new 84 ad that's in the March issue of Guitar Player, I forget which guitar magazine it is, you would know.
That's right.
Yeah. And
World Guitar Player.
Yeah, and it's back. And that was a funny story that Gary Kramer told me as well too in his story. Like, long after his involvement with Kramer, he said, and it's in my video, you'll see it next week, that he'd be in the checkout line of the the grocery store, and there's a magazine, he'd pick it up, and he still wanted to see the Kramer ads. And he says, and this is a quote, Kramer always had the best ads, and they continue. You look at those ads and you just drool. Sometimes it was your favorite guitar hero. It might have been like your Eddies or your Vivian Campbells, or the list goes down the line. But you guys have great ads. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's passion.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's it, right? I mean, we want to bring that back. I mean, I did a research study, as sometimes we do, and a lot of people say that the classic Kramer guitar ads, the classic Gibson ads that are artist fueled, really made an impact on people. And the guitars, for me, I think it's always been artist driven.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have great artists, legacy artists, new artists, relevant artists, just to make sure that people know that, yes, people still play this guitar. And for me as a youth, just growing up, I collected every EVH magazine, from Guitar for the Practicing Musician to Guitar World to Guitar Player. If there was an Eddie on it, I had it, and it was in a bag, and it was stapled to my wall. And that's just the way it was, along with all my vinyl. And those classic ads, Kramer ads, are just, awesome. I mean, you take it back to Eddie and Floyd Rose. You take it back to the Dean, the Loverboy Dean model. You have all the, Richie Sambora ads, the Eddie ads, of course. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And even the John McEnroe ad. I mean, it's just hilarious, but those are classic ads that they live forever. And that's why I think I instinctively chose The Legend Lives On, because it was an old Kramer adage, that was in marketing from back in the day, and we wanted to bring that back. We wanted to have people think, oh yeah, the legend lives on. It is about the legend of Kramer. It is about us taking the brand and elevating it and making it, accessible for people of all types of players, all types of, you could be a brand new, young man, young woman picking up the guitar for the first time, or you could be, a classic artist like you and I, Eric,
right.
and just pick up the guitar and just see that, the legend does live on. It lives on in us, the fans out there, and we're happy to bring back these legacy models too.
Oh man. Yeah. We'll talk about those soon as well too. I'm going to jump back to the chat in just one second, but here's something that was not on our planned itinerary for the night, and I'm just going to throw you for a curve. And it's a skill testing question, so there's always going to be surprises. Do you know who the first Kramer artist was? The very first?
Oh, I
didn't know this until the other day. I honestly did not know this. And not who you'd expect.
I knew it. And I think the first Kramer artist, was REO Speedwagon's, he's going to kill me because I'm having a brain fart.
Nope, incorrect.
What? Okay, who was it?
Stanley Clarke.
Oh, shoot, Stanley Clarke?
Stanley Clarke was number one. I did not know that. Stanley Clark.
What?
Yep.
Oh, you stumped me, brother. So Gary told you that?
Yep. The deal was
okay.
the deal was inked in Electric Lady Studios.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. So I did not know that. And I think it went on to Mick Jagger for the band, and then the rest is history from there. But I was like, what?
That's hilarious because the funny thing is that I had this discussion with Dave Amato at the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and he might kill me for doing this. So sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and you're probably not gonna like it, but that's okay. I'm gonna do it anyway. So we're talking at the hotel, and I said, "Hey, you'll never believe what I found. I'm gonna see if I can find this. You guys are gonna love it." But I found this picture of Dave Amato. Can you see this? I don't know.
Yep.
I can't tell.
Yep, I can see it.
So that's Dave Amato, REO Speedwagon, and he was telling me he was one of the first Kramer artists, and I was like, man, that makes sense because I go through the archives of catalogs and pictures, and of course I came upon Dave, and I said, what we need to do, Dave, is we need to come out with a signature Kramer again for you. You need to play it. It needs to be hot pink, and you need to wear the Canadian tuxedo. All denim shirt, denim jeans, everything denim, just like you had in the picture. Have the same hair. And he just laughed his ass off. Dave is amazing. He's such a cool dude. And but dude, Stanley Clark, that's awesome.
But you know what? You are kind of technically correct. Let's show the correction here. Dave very well could be the first wood neck endorsee.
The wood neck endorsee. That's
right.
it.
See? So there you go. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, there you go. So, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
I mean,
it's a little bit of legacy for both of us. And trust me, I was schooled on that one as well too. So that was kind of neat.
Well, and it's great that Gary was able to give you that lowdown and that history because there's so much of the the Pitchfork Kramer history that even I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. And that's great that he was able to take us to school on that. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's one last tidbit I'll share with you and I don't want to give it away too much of it because the video is coming out next Tuesday, actually next Tuesday night, same time. But there's a very, very funny story. All of us that like Kramer guitars and any kind of shredder guitar, we love Floyd Rose's. I mean, Floyd Rose is my nickname on the internet. That's how much I love Floyd Rose. And he shared a really, really funny story that because Dennis Berardi, former Kramer, bought so many Floyd Roses, I don't even know the numbers, but so many that that Floyd himself purchased something for Dennis. And there's a really funny continuation with that story. So you'll see that next week as well. But let's go back to the people that matter the most here, the people in the chat asking about the guitars. Island Sound says, I'm not sure if big names will immediately switch back to Kramer guitars, but getting a few popular YouTubers endorsed would be a great way to make the brand popular. And yeah, there's a lot of us doing that.
Done and done.
Yep.
Done and done.
That's right. Yep.
Done and done.
Already on it. David Caswell, good evening. Wondering about manufacturer and actual prices of MSRP. We are going to talk about pricing tonight, and I can safely say that this is the first time I've asked Aljon about this. This is the first time that this has been released anywhere. There's been speculations of pricing online. I think I've seen, but they're incorrect. This will be right from the source tonight, and it'll be MSRP, and you heard it here on Kramer Corner first. We'll get to that, I promise you. Let me scroll down a little bit more. I know there's some other questions coming in. And Rob S. starting to move guitars to fund a Jersey Star. Scott Connor to talk about the weather. I'll try to pretty much get this to the guitar questions and comments, guys and girls, if you don't mind. Because let me see. Night Swan looks nice. We're getting on track here. I'm in Vancouver Island. Let me see here. Chuck Booth. Saving money for the Assault 220. Yeah, the new Assaults look really, really nice. We've got one here and now with the reverse headstock design. Killer guitars and a nice top on them as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone's saying everyone's going crazy for the Night Swan, and the Jersey Star is a close second. I wish I had money for both. It's funny. I alluded to you. I said Junior and I were kind of gaga over the Jersey Star, and I was kind of digging the red with gold. He's like, I want the white. What do we do? And it only takes the mind of a 12-year-old to say, well, let's get both. Okay, problem solved.
Of course.
You just need a 12-year-old to solve the problem.
Wait, hold on. You mean this guitar over here? The red Jersey Star?
Yes, let me go to the big camera on that one. Oh, man.
You can see, I can't see it on
That's
the
okay.
camera.
No, we got it. That is absolutely stellar.
You mean this guitar?
That one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna plug it in a little bit too.
Great.
It comes in hot. It's a hot guitar. Tell you what.
I've never been a gold Floyd Rose guy, like our really gold hardware period. Maybe on a Les Paul looks nice, but I've never liked Floyd Roses in gold.
Yeah.
I'm more of a chrome guy, but that looks stellar on that guitar. All the gold accents.
Man, it sets everything off. I mean, I love it. I'm not necessarily the biggest gold fan either.
Yep.
But I love the gold hardware on that guitar. It's heavy and it's totally gold, and I love it.
It's rich. It's rich. Rich color. And Adam says, I wanted the Night Swans for so long. My name for him used to be Night Swan. Cool. Yeah, it shows your passion. Speaking of Kramer artists, Phoenix Vandervaden is here. She's rocking Kramer.
Hey,
and
Phoenix.
Awesome show. Nice to have you. I know it's late for you. Let me continue scrolling down. Okay, so prices. You know what? Do you want to everyone's worrying about prices. You want to talk a little bit about them right now?
Yeah, sure.
Right,
so
let's do it.
I mentioned that we'd be super competitive. And so we have pretty much a finalized price. So I'm going to give you now, of course, this is going to be US pricing. And this is what we call street price. Right. So there may be some other folks in there, quoting big numbers. And the fact is, this is what we call MAP or US pricing. So let's go with the Focus. So we're looking at about around $130 for the Focus. Okay. 180 for the Beretta Special with the maple board. The Beretta Vintage also with a maple board will be, hold on a second, will be $699.
$700. Is that a licensed Floyd or real Floyd?
So the Beretta Vintage is an FRT 1000.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Just so you know, even before we talk about it, a lot of people forget what it's like to sell guitars in a store.
Mm-hmm.
And what my thought process is because I spent so much time in retail and training people, if we're able to nail Kramer down, other than our entry level price point with keys, right? These are the keys to success with selling Kramer, right? Medium jumbo frets, treble bleed mod on most everything, FRT 1000, maple necks, R2 nut, we're good. If I remember that, if anything else, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Some of the other upper models like the Jersey Star and the Night Swan, we don't have we don't have the push-pull pot, situated because it's kind of, what it is, it's, but we do have a treble bleed mod, So these are things that we want to add value. Seymour Duncan pickups, for example, we wanted to make it super easy to sell, super accessible for people so that they know that, it's a Duncan JN, Duncan JB on these models because it has to be easy to sell. It has to be easy for people to remember, and we wanted to make it super accessible for people. So we took the best things about the guitars, the spirit of the guitars. They're not historically accurate. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Night Swan still comes in a 24 3/4 inch scale instead of 25.5 inch scale. So that's solved. The aesthetics, the spirit is there, but we wanted to make sure we had the guitars and the type of specs that people come to expect from, really nice, brand and we're able to make sure that it's easy to sell. And that's just the plain and simple truth of it.
Yep.
One of the things we get as a product specialist in stores all the time is what pickups come with what pickup comes with this, what kind of woods come with that. And if you make it simple at retail, people come to know and expect a certain level of quality and know what comes in the guitar, and there's no question. I mean,
yeah.
You don't have any questions. You eliminate the questions, then you have a pure product, and you guys can mod it to your heart's content, right?
Yeah. Once you give a person time to hesitate, to think about it, then the sale might be skipped. Make it simple, make it easy, common sense, so they don't have to go back to their spec sheets every time to tell a customer. They know it, in and out, done.
But right. And you know what it's like, Eric. I mean, you've been at retail,
yep.
And it's frustrating to know that there's so many different variations on a model, whatever. Hey, look, and this is our rebranding, our rebirth of this brand, and we just want to make sure that we stay simple, we stay true, quality product, push it forward. And so now we'll talk about the rest of the pricing.
Perfect. Okay? So $699 on a Beretta Vintage.
Yeah, so the Vintage, yeah, and it does have a black FRT 1000.
Okay.
Okay, the Jersey Star. So Jersey Star, it's not cheap. All right, it's 1144.
That's not also expensive either.
No, it's not. For what you're getting with, the gold, people are like, gosh, Aljon, we thought it was going to be more expensive, but you have gold hardware, gold Floyd, triple pickups, the gold appointments. But I think one of the things that stand out in the Jersey Star, and I can pick it up and show you,
sure.
Is the fact that, let me unplug this, is the fact that this guitar has inlays in it. Oh, sorry. Buzzing here.
That's okay.
But it has inlays up and down the body. Like you have this star right here. That's inlay.
That's not a sticker.
It's not a sticker. It's an inlay. You can feel it.
Wow.
You can feel the inlay in the neck. It is a 3-piece maple neck with the tools on the back. Hey, you see, it still has a sticker. You don't think this is the guitar that was at NAMM?
Bring it down just a little bit.
Sticker with any video.
Bring it down just a little bit if you can. There we go.
Yeah, see that green sticker? Yeah,
yep.
That sticker was part of every video run through we did. It is number 35.
Wow.
Or 39, right? So there you go, man.
No, you said 1144?
We even have the inlay there on the headstock, So, yes.
And was that 1144 you said?
Yeah, so that would be 1144.
Okay.
That's MAP, right? That's MAP pricing. That's street price.
Yep. And you guys could have easily, I mean, honestly, if you're just going through the motions, you could have easily put a sticker on the guitar and on a headstock. I mean, really, and saved a little bit of work at assembly, but you've gone the extra mile.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, and once again, this is that should be what it should be,
right?
Globally, okay. Yeah, how about the SM1? So here's the SM1. The SM1, I actually have the candy red one in the background.
Yeah, beautiful.
Here. That one right there is not the colors we're going to be moving forward with. We have all new colors. It's 1049. That model, you'll see, unfortunately, we had a couple prototypes that broken headstocks on the way from where they were from, and that's a true story. So we had Orange Crush. We had our number 1 and our number 2, our backup guitar. They were both destroyed, and that sucked. But it is what it is. All right. Yep. So
1049 again.
What's that?
1049, was that right?
Yep.
Okay.
1049. Perfect. And then let's see here. And the Assault Plus, 829. The Night Swan, 899.
No, didn't you say the Night Swan was 11? Oh, the Night Swan. No, you're right. Sorry. No, you're talking the Jersey Star. So go ahead. Yeah, I was incorrect on that. Yeah, so Night Swan?
Jersey Star, 1144, 1049 for the SM1. The Assault Plus at 829, 899 for the 84 and the Night Swan.
Wow, same price.
Yeah, around the same price. And this is roughly the same price.
Okay. Right?
And Charlie Parr is still around. So Night V that you saw on there is under 7. And then we have the Night V satin black with Floyd Rose, and that's a bolt neck, and that's at $399. And the Pacer Classic. Hold on a second, making sure I say this right. Pacer Classic is $399, and the Pacer Vintage is $799, around about. And there you have it, my friend. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, the pricing super simple, very aggressive, as I pointed out.
Yep, you aren't kidding.
It's along the same lines that you'd find, right now in terms of our pricing, and it's not incredibly crazy. The value is there, the parts are there, and once again, we put quality first and foremost on these guitars, and we want to make sure that if we're releasing a guitar, if I'm putting out a guitar, if the staff is putting out a guitar, it's got to be quality. No matter where it's made, It's going to be quality. Okay, people are like, well, where is it made? Well, look, it's going to be made with care and attention to detail, with Gibson Epiphone people, feet on the ground at a facility, and we want to make sure that it's the proper quality. All right, so that's the first and foremost. And I know there's questions about where it's made, and what I can tell you is we're going to make it where we have the best quality and the best people to make it.
The fact that it is your people.
If you enjoy, people can say what they will now in the video, but if you picked up this guitar at NAMM, you can expect the same quality as the guitars you're going to see in the store. Okay, if not better, just because we've had more time and experience to dial the guitar in, and that's all I can say about that.
That's good. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's about as basic we're gonna say, and try to keep it simple, and try to make sure that everything that we do moving forward is all about quality. And that's not just for Epiphone, Kramer, Steinberger, that's for Gibson too. I mean, we're dedicated to it. And so we want to make sure we get the best instruments at the best price we can, for you and our retailers, our retail partners, and to make sure that quality is the best it can possibly be. And I would not have put in the time, and the team would not have put in the time to rebirth this brand, because it means so much to us, because we are also guitar players, okay, that are putting these products together, if we didn't feel that it was quality. It has to be quality. You know, and we know that there's a lot riding on it, because you can't mess this up.
No.
All it takes is for a bad batch to go out, and then all of a sudden, Kramer, not so much. But we want your belief. We want to earn that belief. And we want to be as passionate as our fans are in the way we present it, because it does mean a lot. Yeah. I mean, if I'll put it to you like this. If I could go back and tell my 12-year-old Kramer guitar playing self that I would have a hand in rebirthing this brand, I would be like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's out of body experience.
Gotta be kidding me. It's a dream come true, and it's something that I don't take lightly. Our people behind the scenes, in the back of house, front of house, they mean a lot to me, and that is not lost on me. The fandom is not lost on me. I care, and we all do. We all care very much, and we care about the brand. I see the people on the Vintage Kramer forums talk about this. I see former Kramer employees talk about maybe that we don't know our audience, or we don't know the history. Well, I'll be damned. I do. I'm learning about some of the other stuff, but I really feel that we have a great team that is here to uphold and bear the torch for this brand. And with people like yourself, Eric, and people like the people in our chat, our good friends and family here in the chat, I can tell you that we're going to do everything we can to keep that torch burning bright and to keep that legacy going. And it is not lost on me.
That's good.
It's not lost on our team, and hopefully when people look and see that we're out there interacting with you, that you can talk to us and you can interact with us. And I'll try to interact with people on Facebook forums, that we are listening and we are watching.
Agreed.
And we will make whatever we can, to make it the best it possibly can be. So,
well, I know for a fact you're listening, because just the first time you come on my show, I think you might have come on EVH before you came on you were the first guest on Kramer Korner. But we were asking people, what do you want to see? That kind of stuff. And look where we are now. It just seems like it was yesterday. And here, this is some of the things you were asking for. We've got them here. You played them at NAMM. You know what I mean? That's you do listen.
I try.
Yeah.
Our team tries. And I'm looking at some people saying that, there's no info on the website. No, there's not, because we're getting it. You saw the makeover at Gibson.com. You're going to get the same makeover for Kramer, Steinberger, and Epiphone sooner than later. You're going to see the new models pop up. You're going to see new artists pop up, and you're going to see a lot more interaction with the social media and the creators like yourself, because it means a lot. It meant a lot to me when I was doing it for Gibson. The social media thing is not a fad. It is something where people find a kinship, and people can find that we are your people. This is the tribe. We all belong to the same tribe of guitar fans, whether you watch other YouTube channels, whether it's Fluff or you or, you watch, Tone King or whomever you watch.
Steve from Boston.
Steve from Boston, Sean, any number of the people that were part of our social media panel, Agufish, the list goes on and on. We're part of that. I'm part of that. I watch it very closely and I love it. And I can't get enough of it because I love gear and I love guitars. I'm in a cover band. I play this stuff all the time. And even though, like I said, I'm not a shredder, I'm not Phoenix by any means because no one is. She's amazing, right? So, but we definitely want to cater to that. And we want to make sure that you all feel like we're here for you. We listen to you. And it is based upon our interactions and the products that we put out that will determine whether we're successful or not.
There you go.
So all I'm asking is for you to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a chance, see if you like it. And
very fair.
And you may not be a Shredder fan, you may not be a Kramer fan, but hey, that's why we have Epiphone. That's why we have Gibson. That's why we have Steinberger. Try a guitar, see if you like it. That's all we can ask.
And look at the price point too. I'm going to say two things about that. Number one, you can dive into this line and your other lines as well too, but Epiphone and Kramer at under a couple $100. I mean, we add a guitar that's going to play nice for a couple $100 easily. Mm-hmm. Two things. There's a comment here as well too from speaking of YouTubers. Guitar Hack is asking. He's up here in Canada as well. He's a little further north than me. He's asking roughly when they'll be in stores in Canada. So let's just talk maybe global. When do you anticipate roughly in the stores? Would I be safe to say May or?
Yeah, May's good.
Okay.
The guitar should be hitting about that time, and hopefully it'll hit around the globe. We try to order as much as we can to slot production, and it's in there. So hopefully your Canadian stores will buy in big.
That's
and
right.
I have every hope that Long McQuaid will stock these. So
yeah,
and other dealers too, not just them, but just every dealer too will have an opportunity to get their hands on these Kramers.
That's going to be good. I the one shop I deal with locally here in Chatham, they're a Gibson Epiphone dealer as well too. So I'm going to really push for him to get them. I think
have them email me. Let's do something. We definitely want to do something with them. If they're not working, with our current distributor, they can work with us in some way. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But we want hey, look, if you're an Epiphone Kramer Steinberger dealer out there, thank you. And if you're not a Gibson dealer or an Epiphone dealer right now, let us know. I mean, we want to work with you. We want to make sure that, you have access to this. We also want to make sure that our current dealerships know that, we value our relationship with you and that, only together we can be stronger. So this is a whole new era, and I can't wait to work with you guys out there.
It's going to be great. And I know I've got a couple of people in the chat right now that are some of my Facebook friends that we talk serious gear all the time, and we talk pricing. And I won't mention their names because it's not fair for me to quote, their opinions and things like that.
Okay.
But sometimes we'll complain about pricing of some guitars, and it's not referring to your brand. Some guitars out there that we want so bad are just so expensive, and it's price will sometimes be the demise of getting that product. We just can't afford it. These prices, I'm sure if I have conversations with them off the air, they're going to say that's better than what I was expecting. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure they weren't expecting crazy prices, crazy high, but I don't think they were expecting them to be at this point. Like I'm very comfortable with these price points that you just put forth here. And first of all, thank you so much for giving us exclusive on it, but I'm very comfortable. Like you as a consumer, take Aljon out of Gibson brands. You're a consumer. How do you feel about that price? I know you probably had something to do with it too.
Well, yeah, I mean, the pricing I think is great. Very competitive. You look around, you see who's selling what for what, and you just want to make sure that you can get that pricing, for feature that we're offering something that is competitive in both feature set and price. And, we know what fans want. They're going to demand X, Y, and Z price points to be hit. That's where they vote with their wallet. Mm-hmm. And we want to be there. We want to be competitive at the quality and the feature set that you all are demanding. And for me as a player, it's what I want. Mm-hmm. Am I going to want to shell out this for this type of guitar? you know. And if you look back in the history, going back to Music Yo,
Mm-hmm.
these are not outrageous prices, folks.
Not at all.
You know? I mean, I still have. Oh Lord, Eric, I still have. This is gonna rock your world, man. I have a Kramer Voyager that's in my way. Come on now, hold on. So, okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, this is my Music Yo. Oh my Lord, I don't even have enough room. I got to put down this Jersey Star. This is gonna kill me here. So this is the. Let's hope to God my tower of Star Wars books doesn't fall over.
Yeah.
So this is my Music Yo 84. Okay. And you can see I tricked it out. It's got my Nerd Alert sticker on it. It's got my 8-ball.
That's so cool.
Tuna. This is the one that one of the first guitars I got when I went on tour. I did a bunch of touring as an Epiphone Gibson artist back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And this has traveled with me 3 times around the world, and it has never let me down. And I wanted to make sure that the guitars that we're putting out were as good, if not better, than my 84, you know, that I had for the Music Yo era. And I can honestly say that I love all of our new guitars. This 84 has really served me well, and I'll never get rid of it. And I think it's just an awesome guitar.
That guitar screams 80s where you got it decked out.
Oh man, just totally. I mean, this has been. You look at my Facebook page, you'll see pictures of me playing it. You know, especially being a Star Trek fan. You know, with my Nerd Alert sticker on it.
Do you have any matching Vans to go with it?
You know, I did.
Did you?
I did. When this guitar came out, I had matching Vans with it. I had the black and the red ones.
Nice.
I also had some flame Converses that I used to wear, my Chuck Taylors, because I played in a ska pop band. It was like No Doubt meets Cheap Trick, and this was perfect for that, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And so yeah, that was my guitar for many years, and I wanted to make sure we had at least that quality, and we did, you know, for sure. And
yeah.
I'd say we're coming out on top. We're coming out with some winners, man.
I think so. I agree with you on that. Here, a few questions are coming in, and here's how I think we can address these. And you tell me if this is cool. So a lot of people are saying, will there be this, and will there be this? And they're fair questions. People want to know, and that means they're excited in the brand. But I would say we could probably say something along this lines. You know, will there be USA? Will there be this? We won't talk about things that are coming in advance. We're just fresh off of NAMM, but whatever does happen, I'm sure we could potentially hear about it here first. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. I think this is how it needs to be, folks. If you want a guitar, you have to support the brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's only by voting with your wallet. If you purchase these guitars, you like it, you want to add to your collection of Kramers and play and support the brand over social media, that's how you get your voice heard, and that's how we'll continue to be in business, just like anything else. And we want to bring back Hollow Flash. We want to, you know, I want to do all this stuff. I want to do Kramer custom shops. I want to do more left-handed guitars, all in due time, you know, and who knows when the time is going to be. But I can tell you that we're open to it. We're open to the possibilities. We're open to having a tremendous artist roster of just amazing musicians and people that will evangelize on behalf of the brand. You know, it's not enough to simply, you know, buy a guitar, you know, and play it. I mean, you have to evangelize. You got to work,
live it,
you know, like all of us. Yeah, I mean, look at you, Eric. I mean, you created an entire portion of your network based on a Kramer guitar.
That's right, one guitar.
Awesome, you know,
yeah.
And so, you know, we just want to take it to where we can. I think there's tremendous possibilities there, and I you know, and I for one, I love Hollow Flash. I mean, that's one of the first things I wanted to do, is come out with a Hollow Flash guitar. So you heard it here first. We're going to work on it, and it's going to be up to you. Hopefully this line does well, that it can merit a sequel, and we'll continue to do sequels as long as it draws money. Right.
That's right. So
you
vote with your wallet, like you said.
Vote with your wallet, man. If you love these guitars, then vote with your wallet. Tell your friends that it's awesome, you know, and let us know if it's the kind of quality that you like. I mean, you know, ultimately, like I said, I mean, we have so many guitars from our previous era you know, and Kevin was amazing at putting the brand back on track. And, you know, we lost our way, but we're making our way back to home in this homecoming that you talked about.
That's right.
So, but I have to give props to Kevin. Kevin's a close friend. I consider him a friend, and you know, he's so mega talented. So wherever you are, Kevin, thank you for you know, doing right with your Kramer fans out there, and me too, because I bought the guitars and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but moving forward, man, we're doing what we can and carving that path, and hopefully you guys will join in for the ride. So,
well, the nice thing is there's people like myself and yourself of our age that we're there, you know, like from the Eddie Van Halens all the way up, you know, and then there's the new younger generation that may have never in their lives played a Kramer, and nowadays, you know, sometimes some of these vintage ones that we all seek they're starting to come up again in price. So maybe that price scares them away. We might see this new younger generation jump onto Kramer. Maybe they're an Epiphone player. Maybe that brought them in. Who knows? Who cares what brings them in as long as they come in? But we have it. You grow with the family. You come in, you buy even an entry-level Kramer or Epiphone or whatever, and you grow with the family. You grow with as you grow as a player, and your wallet increases a little bit. Buy a higher brand guitar, you know, higher level, and stay with the family, and we'll continue to bring out the new products. Like your voice is what's heard at the music store.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that'll determine whether a collection or a line lives or dies.
Yep, that's right.
And you know, and that's why we continue, all of your guests that, you know, whether it's you know, Line 6 or Boss or MXR or whatever, you know, they will continually put out new products because you support the brand.
That's right.
I know I do. I mean, I can't tell you how much, you know, Line 6 and MXR and Roland Boss stuff I have in my office. I mean, that's pretty much all I have in my office, really.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm playing through a Katana right now, a Katana Air, because I love it. And they're just fun little amps. I mean, and I've got like a bunch of other amps sitting here in the room too, and my Kemper is sitting in the corner, you know. So it's like
sometimes it's just so much easier.
Somewhere, along with my comic books, it's all in there.
I'll share a horror story of a Boss, and this is I got to meet with Yoshi at NAMM, and it was on my to-do list. I had several videos that were on my itinerary to shoot. Actually, one was Kramer 2, but we had some things we had to juggle there on. I think it was on the Saturday. But out of all the booths I shot at, I was shooting wireless with my mic, and I fought for frequencies with Boss had an isolation room, and we were looking at their one of their products, and I wasn't monitoring the audio. Is my own fault for that. And when I got back, the audio was cutting out every millisecond. So I was fighting frequencies, and I lost. So I lost my footage at Boss, which is a bummer. But that's the nature of conventions. Everyone's on 2.4 gigahertz, you know, trying to fight for these valuable frequencies. And unfortunately, I fought the frequency, and the frequency won.
It happens, man. I mean, trade shows are problematic for that. And I know that other fellow, creators were out there trying to capture content and ran into issues with their wireless systems. I mean, it's going to happen, you know? And so, you know, hopefully like we did, I think we did the right thing, Eric. We went ahead and recorded something in advance.
We did. That was great.
So that you could get some pub from it and get the jump on some people and see what you can do about that. And like I said, I think this is going to be good too. And, and people can hate, people can like it, people can love it, people cannot, and that'll be completely fine because YouTube treats every thumbs up and thumbs down the same.
As an interaction, that's right. I am very happy.
Comments and leave your hate mail for me, and that's gonna be fine. But I hope you do. Honestly, I really hope that you love the stuff. I hope you love all the Epiphone stuff that we have in the works. I hope you love all the Steinberger stuff we have that's out there. And all the Gibson stuff too. I mean, like I said, it's a passion that we all have, and hopefully, I'm looking at all of these different Kramer comments that you have here in Kramer Corner.
Yeah.
And we just want to, just keep them coming. We're going to do what we can and bring back the guitars that you love. But hopefully you'll support this lineup as it stands at this moment. And who knows what the future will bring. We're excited to bring it to you, and we hope you support it. So,
well, I'm really glad that you gave us that opportunity as well, doing the interview before NAMM. It was like the week before for two reasons. One, it was nice to have that content, and the video is doing really good. I'm very happy with how that's trending on YouTube there as far in this community. I don't mean trending on the trending page, but it's popular in this community.
Oh, yeah.
But two, then it also, because Junior and I were invited by your team to do the VIP thing Wednesday night, and I was really looking forward to that. I mean, that was like we were literally supposed to land, get to the hotel, open our suitcases, and get right to the event. I think at 5:30 or something like that. And we had a 12-hour flight delay. And I remember you emailing me through the day saying, I hope you're still coming, whatever. Go ahead, post your video. Sorry you can't make the event, but I was really bummed. Maybe you can just tell us a little bit what we might have missed at that event Wednesday night and what the event was.
Oh man, it was just an event for VIPs. We had a lot of dealers and some artists there. We had some performers and performances there that were great. And everyone got a look at the guitars in advance before anyone else. And they were able to interact with us in a very cool thing. I mean, we had our party and we had some hors d'oeuvres there, and then the next night we had our NAMM Jam for this year, which was amazing. Once again, all of our Kramer artists and Gibson artists were there, and it was just really cool. But I mean, the entire event was cool. But yeah, if you were a VIP to that, it was definitely an event that was geared for custom shop, because we were debuting all these really cool one-off guitars that only dealers could purchase, for their fans out there. But it was super cool, and I think it was great for the people that were able to attend. Not a whole lot of our YouTuber community could attend just because it was a day before everything happened at NAMM.
Right.
So we're okay with that, but of course, you're always invited, Eric. And
next year, I will get there a day before the day before. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, Sean Pierce Johnson in the chat said they had prime rib. It was delicious. I'm glad you had that, because I didn't have any. I was too busy running the mouth and not having enough food, which was, of course, the theme for my entire weekend there. And even when I met you and Junior, I was in the meeting and I came out of a meeting and then I had to go back in, and I'm so sorry we didn't get a chance to connect.
It's all good.
It was insane. It was so insane.
Well, thank goodness for Junior, because he was my eyes and ears of NAMM. Literally, like, he spotted you first. You were out having a business discussion with some of your colleagues. He goes, well, let's go say hi to Aljon. There's Aljon. I said, no. He's doing business. Let's wait. And we caught up with you after. But same thing. Oh, the booth is over here, Dad. This booth is over here. And he was like my GPS, through NAMM. It was fantastic. Now, he wore himself out pretty quick. You can imagine a 12-year-old's legs at day one of NAMM, right?
Oh, it's like walking around the Disney park, right? I mean,
is.
You just are walking around from place to place, going up and down the aisles, and it's a sensory overload.
Yeah.
I remember I've been attending NAMMs for a long time, I would say almost 2 decades. When I was in my 20s, I started going just as an artist, just getting in, but or sneaking in, as it were, to NAMM. And now it's impossible. Like, with all of our meetings, and I'm just happy to meet everybody that I possibly can. But it's crazy. It just grows and grows every year, and grows in popularity. And the halls are super packed. There's all kinds of people, and it's amazing that anyone can get through. And it is an obstacle course. You're just trying to, block and tackle, bob and weave, trying to put Purell on your hands. As I said, those pro tips.
Yeah, they helped a lot. Your tips helped.
And it's true. A lot of my staff came back with Namthrax, and it's because they didn't wash their hands enough. They didn't do the whole Purell, hand sanitizer exercise, and they didn't hydrate enough. And you get sick if you don't take that vitamin C every day. You're gonna get sick.
Junior and I, we had, not only do we have water, we had Gatorade, and we had energy bars as well too. And I was forcing him to stop quite a few times. Let's stop, even if we have to stop in the middle of the aisle, whatever it takes. Stop, get a drink, a quick bite, and then continue on. And that saved our butts.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for that, the water and the cereal bars for sure.
Yeah, and the Purell as well too. We were bathing in it. Yeah. Yeah, we were totally bathing in it. So I'm really happy with the feedback we're getting here in the chat. It makes me very, very happy. And I knew it would be a success, and especially with the pricing that you shared tonight, I think that's going to make people feel very comfortable. But something I wanted to talk about next, and this is funny because I shared this with you off camera.
Sure.
I've had the opportunity with this show, and especially with the EVH and Gear TV and Helix Hour show too. I've got a chance to talk to people that are my heroes growing up, people like you like and love, people that I've worshipped my whole life, like the Billy Sheehan's and all these cool people, Paul Gilbert's. I'm not here to drop names, but all the fun people. And and people ask me, I get asked this a lot, like, what's it like talking to these people? Do you fanboy out? And I always make a joke about it, saying the way I try to run this thing is I don't want to be Chris Farley from Saturday Night Live interviewing Paul McCartney. You know what I mean? Hey, do you remember when you were in the Beatles? That must have been cool, right? So if I can do anything better than that, then I think I'm doing okay, and I'm trying to learn every day, blah, blah, blah. Where I'm trying to go with this story is I don't fanboy out. Now, there are some times where, let's say I'm switching a camera. You can't see me do this, but I'm switching a camera. Now I see Aljon's face. I can be giggling and being all excited that I've got Aljon here. No one's going to see me. Then I come back and I look like I'm calm, cool, and collective. So there are some times where I will get a little giggle, or, it's giddy that I've got so-and-so here. But I can deal with it. But I didn't meet your new CEO, but I walked by him and I fanboyed out and I continued on walking. And no, James, am I pronouncing it right? James Curley?
Yeah, that's right. JC.
Okay. Yeah, JC. So I walk in there, and the guy, he's a rock star. He's larger than life. I don't know how tall he is. I'm 6'2". He appeared to be 7 feet tall. Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty tall. He's kind of like Rick. He himself admits that he kind of reminds people of Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
The Rocking Dead. Okay. So we're like, you should know because you host The Rocking Dead, which I am a big fan of.
Thank you.
So it's kind of like, and I am a huge Walking Dead fan. And when he said that in our meeting, we all just laughed, and it's like, Coral, get in the house.
Yeah.
But he is that way, and he's super tall, but he's super nice and super down to earth. And I couldn't imagine, what our new business leaders were going to be like. But I can tell you this, that they are super passionate, much like we are, and like to hang out and have fun. And they're all about the brand, and they're all about the fans and the artists. And this is great. It's just really great. And I can tell you that I'm learning every day from these folks. They're once again at the top of their game, and they believe in the brand. They believe in the guitars, and that's going to be awesome. It's right now. It's awesome to work with him. So
yeah, well, I think he's great. I really think he's the man to lead the team and work with the team. But I would just tell him, please tell that he might have saw me come by with the matching shirts with the boy and stuff like that. He'll probably recognize Junior more so with the mohawk. But I was actually kind of just freaked out. I think I went to put my hand out because he had just finished speaking with someone, so I could have spoke to him. And I've never done this in my life. I just kept on walking, and I regret it. I know there's going to be many more opportunities, but tell him that I really respect what he's doing, and I would like to have spoke to him, but it is what it is.
You know what? At the next NAMM or next event, come down and tell him yourself, because he'd love to shake your hand and talk to you, and he's super approachable and just an overall just amazing person. And I can't imagine a single person that would approach him and would leave with anything bad or sour to say, because he's that cool. Just a really nice guy. I can't stress that enough. I mean, it's it's really inspiring too. Just working with these people and with the new staff, just knowing how invested they are in the company's success, and that's great. And
JC's a player too, right?
Oh yeah, he plays.
Yeah.
Cesar, JC, they all play, and they play guitar, well. I mean, I think JC's one of his favorite artists is Bob Dylan. He quotes Bob Dylan quite frequently, and he's got he learned on his mom's Epiphone guitar, which is really cool, and I think that's great. Everywhere he can, he drops those Epiphone names. He name drop Epiphone all the time, so it's great. Really nice to have someone. It's really nice to have someone drop the Epiphone name and continue to promote the brand like that. So it's cool.
I agree. Here's a nice comment from David Caswell, and we've got about 15 minutes left of the show. So after we read this comment here and maybe a couple others, you've still got the Jersey Star in your hand. I'll have it. Are you still plugged in?
Yeah, okay. I think I can do a few.
Okay, I'll just read his comment real quick. He says, thank you, Eric, for providing Kramer Korner, and to Aljon for being on and the available information on the new releases. As Aljon puts it, look forward to voting on a few. That's right. Good comment, and thank you, David.
Oh, yeah, man. And thanks, David. I know that we've seen each other on various forums and whatnot. And like I said, more information to be released soon in regards to in-depth specs and our new website, hopefully to come sooner than later. And you'll have the, we talked about kind of where our price ranges are going to be. If you back this video up, you'll be able to check it out for yourself. I think, once again, they're super competitive. And I think people are going to be surprised and delighted by the pricing and the quality of these guitars. And once again, these are the actual guitars that we had at NAMM. So if you saw the videos, these are the guitars from the video. I was able to take them from the office today. They just arrived. And for those of you I'm not going to play the whole riff because it could be a copyright.
That's right.
Yeah, it's that like I said,
you're having fun, aren't you?
Riffs in there, and difficult to play it upright like this, but space is limited here at the Aljon studio at the moment. So,
but I can tell though you're having some fun.
Oh yeah, man. And after the broadcast, we'll sit here and play some Whitesnake later. But
nice.
Yeah, I don't want to ping you for.
Yeah, it doesn't take much these days. Strikes. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. Gosh, I hope you don't get pinged because I actually played that riff.
This should be okay. Hey, we should be good. Play some Van Halen and you'll be totally fine. Just
yeah. We'll play some Van Halen.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. It won't sound right on the Jersey Star. So
no, it's okay. It's all right. There we go.
I don't know, man.
That's okay.
I don't know. I think I'm getting also my metal bracelets getting stuck on the trim, but that's okay.
No, this is great. I mean, we're totally geeked out. There was another question too from Guitar Hack. He is you probably know him through the community. He's a major Les Paul player. I mean, he obsesses over Les Pauls like I do with anything with the Floyd Rose on it.
Sure.
And he was also asking when will the new Gibsons themselves be in the Canadian dealers like the Long and McQuaid's and places like that? Do you have a rough idea? The 2019s.
I know that some of the newer 2019s are already in stores.
Okay.
Some of the other, like the 50s and 60s inspired standards and things, I honestly, I don't know when they're going to make that transition because I'm just more involved these days with the Epiphone side. So I can only speak on what I know of in terms of Epiphone, but I would think that you'll see them sooner than later. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. And I know your dealer network here in Canada, they're good at getting them. I mean, they want to sell them, so they want them as fast as they can get them. So
for sure.
Yeah. So it should be soon.
They're kick-ass guitars. Why wouldn't you?
That's right.
I mean, and I love our lineup. I love the Les Pauls. I have a lot here in the studio. Just a few. You
know something I'm not embarrassed to admit, but I personally I feel so bad about this. I have never in my life, and some people know this. It's not an unknown fact with me. I've never owned a Gibson Les Paul. I've never, and the reason why, because I've never really searched one. I want that one to fall on my lap. By that I mean I might just be at a music store sometime and see something. Let me just pick this up and play it, and I'll say, wow. Like I don't want to go in there to buy a guitar. I want to go in and just have some fun because I usually don't play guitars in the music store. That's another reason why I don't find guitars. I just have this thing. I play at home now. I retired and I only play at home and on the internet, which is crazy. I'm playing to more people now than I probably ever did before.
No kidding, right?
Behind the camera, so I'm comfortable that way. But one day I will find a Les Paul. And it might even have a Floyd Rose. It's probably maybe sacrilegious, but there's some nice Les Pauls.
Oh no! I've got a few Les Pauls here that have Floyd Roses on it.
I know Mark Day over at Fractal there. He plays a mean Gibson with a Floyd.
He does.
Yeah, he's a great player.
We love Mark Day. Mark Day is my buddy.
Yeah,
and he is a defender of the faith, if you will, in terms of Kramer and Gibson and all that. And I'm just glad to see him playing his Les Paul with a Floyd Rose. I mean, I'm all about it.
And that guy, it's the guy you love and you hate him because for the sole fact that he makes his guitar playing look so effortless. Like his technique is like, it's a very rare technique. I don't think there's anyone else that plays like him. And he told me about his vibrato and I know we're getting off on a tangent, but he's a Gibson player, so I want to share it. He would sit close to the table when he would play because he has this feather touch, right? Mm-hmm. And when he plays, it's just a feather touch. And he would get really close to the table so that it would really limit his playing. And I'd have to go back and watch the video to hear his full explanation, but it's a way that it developed his technique to be like a feather touch. It looks almost like he's in slow motion, It's pretty cool.
It's almost Billy Gibbons like, right? Billy Gibbons plays guitar with very super thin strings, very thin gauge strings.
Sevens.
He does have, he has a very featherlight touch, and he's like, one of my friends that sells guitars to Billy talks to him quite frequently when he's in town, and he goes, "Why are you trying to work so hard, boy? Why don't you just play?
Yeah.
Why don't you just lighten up your touch? That's why he plays so thin." But hey, man, whatever works for BFG, and I'm cool with it. I am a big fan of ZZ Top and Billy, and I think it's super cool, and you can't argue with the tone that he gets.
That's right. Sorry, that's okay.
No, phone is coming through, but you can't argue with the tone that he gets. And for those of you that subscribe to the thicker string theory of like SRV or whatever, honestly, at the end of the day,
it's in your fingers.
It's in your hands.
Yep.
Tone is in your hands. EVH knows. I mean, you give Eddie whatever rig it is, it's going to sound like Eddie. Your Vito Bratta is going to sound, the same just because of his hand. And so, and who knows, we can try to get the approximations with all the gear and the IRs you want.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, your fingers really do. And the way you handle a vibrato.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally.
Another signature thing, and I tend to have a very legato vibrato and bend really high, very high. So that's kind of where I'm at. But, Mark A is an amazing player. So
he is.
What up, Mark?
Got to get him back on sometime. I had the guys at MXR share a nice story about Billy Gibbons, too, that, it was really, really cool. Talking about that new pedal they just brought out, signature pedal for him. It's like the Octavia with a 7-band EQ or something like that. I forget the name of it.
Oh, I love that pedal.
Yeah. And they gave us a demo of it. Yeah. And they're imitating Billy as he comes in. I'm not going to do it because I can't retell a joke, but they're ad-libbing and talking in Billy Gibbons speak, and it was so cool. It was really cool. We have that one on the channel, which is nice as well.
Man, it's so good. And I did. You were talking to Brian Kehoe about that.
Yes.
And he's my homie too. What up, Kehoe?
Yeah, he's great.
But I love the Dunlop stuff, and that fuzz with the octave. I think it's got like a built-in Octavian, like a 6-band EQ or something.
6 or 7, yeah.
I had actually an opportunity to play that pedal, and that thing is just
isn't it cool?
Smoking.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my god.
And they had they did 3 pedals. The Super Lead, that was pretty cool. Super Lead, and the Dookie from the Green Day pedal as well. And it actually sounded really, really good because I never really knew that about Billy Joe, how he'd had 2 Marshalls. I think he called one amp Meat and Pete, something like that. And so one is kind of fuzzed out and the other one's kind of clean, and you put the 2 of them together, and there's a secret to his sound. So that they've emulated that in the pedal, which is really cool too. Good pedal to check out.
Exactly. It's kind of like a Sparkle Drive. I mean, I remember when I had a Voodoo Labs Sparkle Drive for a long time, that was part of my standard setup because you had a nice kind of dry, wet thing going on with the distortion and the tube screamer that was in there. And it was a great pedal, man. I wish I didn't get rid of it, but I need to get it again, I guess.
That's right.
But it's nice when and EVH did that too. Like, I think in Balance, like when he was recording Balance, he would oftentimes record a super clean guitar and then his dirty guitar, and then he would layer that. Did he not?
There's a lot of times where he would have clean tracks for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So he did a tremendous amount of that for like Humans Being and Can't Stop Loving You, stuff like that. I mean, he had that really nice, clean, chimey guitar, and then he'd have that dirty sound too. So
yeah, I mean, this is a complete different tangent, but look at people like God rest his soul, Tom Petty. What I was never a huge Tom Petty fan. I liked his music, but because I'm more of a rock guy, but he was even doing stuff like that. Even though he wasn't his band wasn't a dirty player, always had acoustic guitar. And John Mellencamp's another example. Acoustic guitar and dirty guitar over top, and you had to really listen to hear it. But that's where a lot of guys, I'm sure it was done many, many times before that by various artists, but those couple artists I just mentioned really made that a cool thing to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's nice to even have like different frequencies represented in a stereo setup.
Yep.
I think you mentioned, was it Jeff Beck who did that? And I do that with my band. I tend to really focus on the mids and lows versus the highs.
Yep.
A lot of times.
Dime the mids. That's what I always do.
You probably can't even tell just from having my Katana Air just sitting here, but I love to move a lot of that mid range.
Yeah.
I think I think Joe Sibic from Afghan Wigs mentioned that on a recent rig rundown, and he's an awesome dude. We talk to each other, every month, and his setup is very much like that. He has his 412 cabinet, a Mesa, I think, and he really accentuates the mids and really turns down the lows and the highs because he just wants to cut in the mix when he's performing live. And that's kind of my whole situation, man. You bring out the mids, pull out some lows if you need to, but definitely draw back on the highs and leave that for the cymbals. You have so much other, stuff to deal with frequency wise. So
anyway,
we're down the rabbit hole, Eric. What are we doing?
That's right. It's okay. Well, listen, we're at 10:27 here. It's probably a perfect time to wrap up. I see someone else commenting about Vito Bratta, and that could take us over to Steinberger. Everyone's talking about Vito, and he was a great player, amazing player. It's too much. I mean, it's too bad that he just kind of dropped out of the scene. I think he's probably officially retired. He's only done a couple interviews here and there, Eddie Trunk and stuff like that. But I miss him greatly on the rock scene.
I forgot how to play Little Fighter, man. I don't remember anymore.
I don't even know a note of
it. Sorry if you get pinged for that.
Oh, it's okay. We should be good. We should be fine.
I can't help myself. You said Vito Bratta. I'm like, oh.
And plus, you're playing a cool guitar that you haven't only played now tonight. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, more power to you.
Got to play some White Lion tonight, man. For sure.
Right. Do me a favor after the show to make it quicker for our fans here as well too. If you can, email me that. Take out any sensitive data, but email me that price list again, even though we've got them in the video, and I will immediately stick them in the description of the video, and I'll pin it. Right, and that way people can see that if you're up to it, and either that or
we'll see if we're up to it, Eric. They may just have to go back in the audio and describe it because it doesn't live and breathe anywhere other than this video
there
right
you
now.
Go.
So
no problem. Okay, we'll see. All right,
no
problem. If we can't, we can't. You guys can just watch my video again and again and again. Make sure to watch all those advertisements, of course.
Yes.
Listen,
monetize. Click on those advertisements there and help Eric out.
That's right. You can buy me some more clothes and guitar. Maybe a Les Paul one day. You'll save up all that. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Get myself a Les Paul.
Hey, when you're ready, I know a guy.
Okay. All right. That sounds good to me. Yeah. Quentin James is here as well too. Good to have you tuning in, buddy. And I apologize too if there's probably a dozen of you I've missed, but you're certainly all appreciated. You're a very big part of our family here, not just the Kramer Korner family and everything here on the EVH and Gear TV network, but here tonight with the Kramer, Epiphone, Gibson Brands family. It's been a blessing to have you here and really excited. I knew this was going to be a fun show tonight. I had no doubts whatsoever. I hope you had a good time as well, Aljon.
Oh man, are you kidding me? Anytime I get a chance to just talk about the brand, just honestly with you and your fans, I do. It's like a blessing, as you said, and it really is. I love to connect with people, and I do believe so much in the brand and in the fans, and so I would appreciate it if you just give us a chance, check out the guitars. And we hope you love it. And once again, vote with your wallet. Let us know what you like. And if you're critical about anything, we're always open and we are listening and we are watching. So please let us know. Okay.
Fantastic. And I do appreciate your time as well, too, because I know you're just getting back from NAMM. You're officially back for a few days. But, there's other things you could be doing, but you're taking time with us. And that shows your passion. So we're very grateful.
Oh, yeah, man. Tonight is a Predators hockey game. And I am here talking about it instead of watching hockey, and I'm just going to have to get back to the hockey here in a little bit and my chimichanga that has been chilling in the microwave.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. I'm not sure if is it going to still taste good?
It's going to be fine.
It'll be all right.
A chimichanga is like cold pizza. It's good no matter when it is,
Yeah, there you go. Never bad. And we're getting some comments. I'll surely vote with mine. So, and Blackjack who's his Feather Touch guy? Mark Day on YouTube. Look him up. He works for Fractal Audio. Really, really good player. So just as a reminder for people that are still watching, next week at the same time, I won't be live, but technically we're premiering a video, so we will be live. You can join in the premiere with us and watch it. It goes live at 9 o'clock. We can interact in the chat. Junior and I after NAMM spent 3 days as guests of Gary Kramer and his wife at their place, and we interviewed him. A very candid interview. It's about 45 minutes long, and there's some facts about Kramer that are really, really cool. For the Floyd Rose guys and girls out there, there's some stuff in there, the tidbits that you're just going to love. It was really, really cool, so I invite you to come check that out. It'll be a fun hang as well, too. We're going to start getting some more Kramer artists on here in the coming days, and as I've promised and I've shared with Aljon, I'm putting fire under the butt of Kramer Korner this year. I really want to take this show to the next level, and I'm trying my very, very best to not, treat the other shows any poorly or less impact. So we're gonna launch this baby. And Aljon, you've been a great help as well too. I can't thank you enough, and this was huge content for us tonight.
Oh yeah, man, of course. And we'll try to get some of our Kramer artists to talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be amazing, and I know you had Phoenix and myself, and we want to get Charlie Parra to partake in the show. So Charlie, if you're out there watching, know from the bottom of our hearts that you kicked so much ass at NAMM, and the Gibson family loves you so much, and we can't wait to do more things with you. And hopefully you'll be able to get Charlie here on the show because he's great.
I know. I reached out to him, and I didn't know much about him other than being a Kramer artist until seeing him at NAMM, and I was fortunate enough to catch his set. And as you know, and this will be the last thing I'll say quickly here, sometimes you get overloaded with guitar shred at NAMM, and the last thing you want to hear is shred. And I honestly didn't know what I was going to expect, what I would expect from Charlie. I thought he looks like a shredder, and he's going to play a shredder, but he was tasteful. I could have taken more of his music as opposed to, okay, I've heard enough. Like, it was really, really good, very diverse, all over the map. But you wanted more, and we need more artists like that where you want more as opposed to like, okay, 5 minutes, I've had enough.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to the new guns of Kramer and the artists that are coming out, I can't tell you how awesome it is to have Phoenix, to have Charlie representing the brand, because they're pushing great instrumental music.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't own their records, you need to. If you don't follow them on YouTube, you need to. And there's many more great artists to come. If you're out there performing original music and you play a Kramer guitar, just let us know.
Tweet us,
put your stuff in the comments and link your videos of you playing your Kramer guitar, because there's so many great YouTube artists that are out there and doing things, and we want to see you and we want to help promote you over social. And I sincerely mean that. I mean, you guys and gals out there are what makes our brand happen, and it's your love and performing with those guitars on YouTube and in the clubs everywhere and in original recordings everywhere and in your cover bands everywhere around the world that really make us go. So thank you for that.
Well said. Tag them on social media for sure. Do it. So listen, we're going to wrap up 10:34. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time here this evening. Go back and watch this video again for the pricing and relive it. Check out these guitars and watch for them appearing in stores towards May. And just keep watching social media and watch our show and watch our Facebook pages, facebook.com/Kramer Korner. We'll try to update you with information as well, too. Listen, we will see you next time. Until then, cheers. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out our full lineup of Kramer Korner merchandise available for purchase right now at broadstash.com.